we've got time for one more question in the front here, thank you. Or any burning questions we might be able to fit you into.
I'm just thinking, there's so many things that we share that are in common. For example, you know, we're going to have in Athens a discussion about the Sydney Biennale because a very similar thing is happening to our art organizations also. And I want to talk with you afterwards. Maybe you want to Skype and have a discussion about it. Or we also have these detention centers for the immigrants that are flooding in the country, even though for sure some of our own are in your detention centers, you know. Anyway, but I'm thinking, even though we share so many things, there are some issues that are not, thank God, so popular, like what's happening in Hungary. Like there's not an extreme neo-Nazi party in such huge percentages in so many places. And my question is basically to you, talking about this specific issue, you said you were touring a lot, and I wanted to ask where and in what context, like how, if you wanted to talk about this experience a bit more.
Thank you, Eugenia.
Thank you. We're with Word for Word about the murders. We've been touring to different French festivals and to Prague, and actually there is a lot of racism and hatred of the gypsies in a certain part of the Czech Republic, in Bohemia. And of course, needless to say, in France also there is deportations and all kinds of other issues. You've seen for sure the images that Sarkozy was during his time, they were just sent away and all of that. So I think in a way, by showing where this road leads to, actually is what you can do often. So you show this, there is a country where this already led to that very extreme situation, because the show is really not about these four killers are terrible and what happened is horrific, but I think what's worse is the reaction of the majority society or the lack thereof. So for instance, before we went there to interview these people, really no one, except for the first sensationalist, oh, what happened, oh, terrible. Apart from that, no one ever asked these people. No one sat down with them for hours and then came back again. So actually you can show where this can lead to is one thing. With so it really, and I think even in countries where you have no gypsy at all, you can easily relate with other minorities. I think that's not very difficult because it doesn't just tell the exact story. It talks about everyday racism. So we always have a set of questions to the men on the street, and from those we make some scenes, and these show the every